yeah. I looked out the window, seeing this boy.
Oh, hi there, fellas. I was just sitting here, thinking about the start of the season, in my smoking jacket, with my pipe. And I was putting together a few notes I thought you gentlemen might appreciate as to the upcoming season. We'll call it a preview. First off, I would say that we have a matchup in Sean's iCults versus the Dirty Sanchez. Through no fault of Sean's, that is the matchup of the week. I'm calling this one QB versus Mecha QB. Breeze versus Rodgers. Although, interestingly, I don't think this one is going to be decided by QBs at all. I think it's actually some wide receiver questions on both teams. Some nagging injuries with Smith and Nix, as well as Smith and Marshall's unproven track record. Despite the fact that Marshall does have Cutler throwing to him, I don't know if he's actually going to be the superstar that a lot of people have pegged him to be this year. So with those big questions, there's also a bit of a weak matchup for the Colts in that respect, just due to those unproven receivers. Sean has pinned a lot on that core for the entire season. We'll see if it pans out. He wasn't really there to verbally defend himself on draft day, but he tried. Good luck to you, buddy. Alright, so based on this matchup, I'm going to have to throw it to the dirty ones, just based off those question marks. In our second matchup, we have Panty versus Off Constantly. I'm really going to say that this one comes down to the matchup of the powerhouse running backs, but with that lack of depth of the wide receiver group, I see the Panties beating Off Constantly this week. Next matchup, Prime versus the Favres, in a matchup that I'm dubbing the Phallic Fantasy Throwdown. Seriously, fellas, what's up with the penis shit? Anyway, although I do love Prime's cocky wide receivers, Romo is still a boner, and I see the footlong sticking it to the Coctimus this week. Sorry, Chris. Not only could I not resist that, it was pretty much how things are going to roll anyway. In our next matchup, we have My Fairy Princess group versus the Greg has just found Arabic translator on his Macs. For me, it's my running backs versus his wide receivers. And be honest with you, I see myself taking this one because Stig Greg's fantasy football perfect season is going to be gone in the first week. Let's say it's going to be close. I see myself winning this one by a Fairy's wing margin. Lastly, we have the Connecticut Conquistadors versus the Burger King Diamonds. This one's got shit show written all over it, folks. It basically comes down to the fact that Megatron is going to be stealing some of Stafford's points. I really don't see Stafford being the huge influence that he could be for the Diamonds this week, just based on that fact alone. This one's going to go very narrowly towards the Conquistadors, although you could see it flip back the other way depending on whether or not Johnson gets extremely involved in the game versus just involved. Let's face it, Flacco's not really going to cut it as a number one there, bud. You may want to start thinking about some replacement options. All right, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, I'll think about possibly doing one or two more before the season is over. I'm going to get back to my pipe, little Doctor Who, and of course, the Beastie Boys.
Ran to the fridge and pulled out an egg. Scope over my scopes, he had no hair. Lost that shot, he was caught.